But I guess I want to start with sharing the story how this subject came to me. So I've been doing social media for like quite actively for about like 6 years or so, maybe more. I mean actively and unapologetically, meaning that I am there and I'm showing myself, I'm speaking my truth. I have been doing those lives and and that has been a bit scary for me sometimes, but being visible and sharing my truth in social media, showing my face or something like that, that has never been um, like any big issue for me. Yes, there has been like this nervousness and excitements and lots of journaling about becoming visible. But anyway, that has not been the big one for me. But what has been all these years has been a big, big, big thing for me, a big wound. The need of getting likes, the need of having many followers. And I thought, I thought that I was already over this phase or this wound. I can guarantee you that there is probably hundreds and hundreds. I really mean it, at least like minimum hundreds, 100 or 200 pages of journaling about this wound, like why these likes are important to me, why I would like to have followers, why they are important, blah, 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 blah. And, everything that comes to this subject, like tons of words and crying and journaling. Um, so I kind of like thought that this was like done deal already, that I did not have to go there anymore until 2 days ago. So I was have really good day. Actually, I've been having a really, really, really good energy this whole start year. I've been like vibing so high. I have been just really energetic. I've been channeling these new amazing trainings that are about to come with new programs. I've had just amazing energy. And then, like a few days ago, I just suddenly noticed that my energy level dropped like major. And I'm like, okay. And instantly I knew why, because I was in my Instagram account and I happened to notice that I only had 772 followers, because just like 1 week ago or so, a few days ago, I had 777. And like a few months ago, I had over 800. Few months ago, I don't know, remember when it was. Some time ago, anyway, I had like 800. And I remember I was like, wow, over 800 followers. That's like a lot. Even I know that many has thousands, but for me, that's a lot anyway. So it felt good, and it feels like I have somehow achieved something. And of course, it always feels good to post something when you know that there are many people who might get help from receiving the post. Anyhow, so about 1 week ago, I noticed like there was 777 followers. I was like, well, what the heck? Yeah, I have lost some 20, 30 followers for the past months, but I don't care. I just love the love the number sequence 777. So I was like, yeah, what the heck? I don't care. Yeah. If you unfollowed me, so it's like, well, you were never meant to receive then the teachings from me, so it's okay. But now I notice that just in a few days, when I had written a few new posts from really excited energy. Like I said, I have been having really excited energy, inspiration. And from that kind of energy, I have written like a few new posts within this week. And then I noticed that again, it had dropped like that. Now I only had 772. And those are still my numbers. But anyway, I'm like, and that was the drop I noticed. Consciously, I was thinking like, that's okay. I don't care consciously. But then I anyway noticed how my energy felt like just dropped. Sorry about the kids. They have short memory, it seems. Muistakaa olla hiljaa. Te puhutte taas kovaan ääneen. Reminder for them. I can't wait to get that door there. Okay, so 772. And of course, I was thinking, like, no, not this again. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I've been healing this wound for so many times. Like, I am not in the mood to go there again. But since my mood it was still low, it did not go away. I was like, okay, I don't have any other option. Just take my paper and pen and just start to write what I'm feeling. And like, bunch of stuff came. And limiting beliefs and this and that. But also actually many memories from my youth came to me. And then I started to write down the name of boys who have left me. So when I was a teenager, you could think that I was this kind of like little bit, yeah, popular, like I was beautiful. I think I had it easy with boys, and and there was lots of boys that I was together with. Of course, they were this kind of short relationships, but anyhow, the thing is that they all left me. I got 7 names. It might be more, but at least 7 names that I wrote down that left me, that did not want me. And that has caused some wounds that I thought also that I had already dealt with, because I have been dealing with this wound before, also with the boys leaving me, but I did not see the connection with this social media thing, followers, and the boys leaving me. So a whole new realization came. It was actually when I was going to bed that same day when this happened. So when I was going to bed, I was almost falling asleep. So this like land came to me, like, oh my God, that's why. So they left me. At least this was the realization that came to me. My own feeling and perception about it, why it happened, because when I was young, teenager, I always had this amazing, not amazing poor choice of words, but this huge need to have a relationship. I always had the need to have a boyfriend. I don't know if you remember, back in the days, they used to do this kind of, and maybe they still do that some schools, this kind of like yearbooks. And there was pictures of every class, and then there was some line written about every student. So I remember that I think it was in 8th grade or so. It says that there was like me and this like speaking bubble, and it says, I need a boyfriend. Or was it, I really want a boyfriend? But it even was in my yearbook. So this was like a huge thing for me. Of course, back then I didn't realize it, why I need it. But now as an adult self, I realized that I needed, or I thought I needed, a boyfriend to make me feel happy, to make me feel supported, to make me feel important, that I matter. And that right there is the exactly same pattern with the social media followers. So when I was journaling, I was like, okay, so why do I feel like this? And blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like these followers who had unfollowed me, that they don't care about me, that I'm not important, that my stuff or me, that I don't matter. And of course, logically, I know that it's never okay, and it's never good to try to search validation, approval outside of oneself. Of course, we all know that, but it's the little children within us who are seeking something, and usually it's some kind of unmet need that at least it seems that I have, and I'm pretty sure that many of us have many of those unmet needs. And even if I had very loving mom and dad, but they did not know how to support me, I feel they still don't. I would have many stories about, for example, being business owner and that they never supported me in a way that I needed. Anyway, so like I said, there was lots of stuff that came from that journaling, but the biggest thing I feel was that I'm still carrying this wound of not being supported, that I am not important, that I don't matter, which, like I said, leads to that story when I was a teenager. That if I only would get boyfriend, I would be happy. I would matter. I would be important. I would be supported. So the same thing with the followers. So if I only would have more followers, or yeah, well, let's just take that example. If I only would have more followers, so that would mean that I am accepted, I am important, I matter. But of course, we who are walking the spiritual path, we all know that that's not the real reason why I would need followers. The real need comes from somewhere deeper. And of course, the real need for me was to be supported. And every time we are doing this journaling, we are finding these limiting beliefs, and there is usually always some unmet need. So ask yourself what the real need is. Actually, we could do a journaling thing about this. But one thing I wanted to share about this neediness, that every time you noticed some kind of need in your life, and I mean this kind of egoic need. For example, now my need obviously was that I would need more followers to feel supported and to feel that I matter. But it could be whatever. It could be a house, it could be money, it could be a car, it could be whatever. But if you have this, I really need kind of like egoic sense, like I had when I was a teenager. I need a boyfriend. It's like this really, really needy energy. So the realization, now back again to the realization, it was that every time you are in that place of that you are being really needy, you are creating even more lack in your life. And I'm like doing this kind of emotion because I feel that when you are needy, like, I need a boyfriend, I need a boyfriend, I need more followers, I need, you are like this kind of, what's the word? Contraction energy. Like that you are holding on to that one thing that you need so much that you are just creating even more tension between you and that thing or more lack, because every time you have this I need, it means that you don't trust. And abundance energy, trust energy, that always comes, or like it comes from the place of trust, that you trust that you are being taken care of, that you trust that you have actually all the things within you already, that nothing is outside of you. And when you need something, your ego thinks that I'm not good enough, I'm not important enough, I don't matter unless I get this something. The needy energy, that you are clinging on to something. So that comes from ego, and that's like fear-based energy, lack consciousness energy. And of course, it just creates even more of that. So that's why my realization was, okay, well, that's why the boys were leaving me. That's why, because even if I wasn't like physically attached to these boys, I was this kind of old-fashioned girl who always wanted that the boy would first ask me out on a date, or the boy would first text me, or blah, blah, blah. So I was not physically attached to the boys that I was with. It was energetic, because I had this so big need. I want a boyfriend, I want a boyfriend, I want a boyfriend. So that's why they all left me, because they could feel this needy energy.